Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Martin. This is video 7. Hopefully the first of 2 videos about a trip we made recently to the Isle of Seil on the west coast of Scotland. And we stayed in a place called Oban, and primarily because, as you can see here, it overlooks the island of Easdale. So historically, Easdale Island was a slate mine or slate quarries. It was an island devoted entirely to the industry of slate quarrying, and a massive storm in the late 1800s put paid to that. So we're left with this idyllic tiny island with a small population that is largely visited by people like me who wanted to go over and see these enormous quarries that are now basically small lakes. So the island is really in 3 parts. You catch the ferry over. It takes about 15 minutes if you walk slowly to walk around. It really is that small. And then you've got the houses in sort of centred around the harbour area. You've got the small hill in the centre, and the rest really is dominated by these filled-in quarries. So this is an island unlike any other that I have visited in the UK. There are no roads, there are no cars, and everybody has a wheelbarrow. You get off the ferry, you load whatever you're carrying into your wheelbarrow, and you wheel it to your house. This is the highest point on the island. Now, you're not going to get sponsored for climbing it, but if you do, the rewards are spectacular. The views over to Mull, to the mainland, and all the other islands that are surrounding you. Now, the main attraction to us for visiting Easdale Island was these filled-in quarries. As you can see, over time, the water is absolutely crystal clear. It's less salinated than swimming in the sea. There's a little bit of salt in there, but it really is more like swimming in fresh water. There are no waves. It gets a little bit frisky when it's windy, but you can see here it was calm, it's crystal clear, it's a joy to swim in. What I will say is all the other quarries are, as you would expect, the miners dug down, they dug straight down, which means you're left now with a pool with vertical sides, and it's incredibly deep. This one, as you can see, it's got a little bit of a slope. I don't know why. I assume there was a bit of a landfill, which means you can walk in more gently. It's not as deep and therefore not as scary. And then when you finish swimming, you can head across to the Puffer. It's a cafe and a pub. It's not open all the time. I've got the opening hours coming up in a moment. I think it's open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday afternoons as a cafe. And boy, what a cafe. Coffee, cakes, the usual kind of things that you could ever want. And then in the evening on Friday and Saturday, out the back, it becomes a full-on pub. And when you can eat no more cake and drink no more coffee, it's back on the ferry and back to the mainland. Thanks for watching. Hopefully there'll be a second video fairly soon about everything else we did which didn't involve Easdale Island, and I'll just leave you to dock with the ferry.